everybody. My name is Devlin, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about, maybe touch on some of the Tony Rice style. I know, like me and everyone else who loves bluegrass music, knows of Tony and his playing and all his years of contribution to bluegrass and acoustic jazz music. And previously in the past, I've made some videos going back maybe 8 or 10 years ago, and posted some on YouTube. I recently took those off, felt they was outdated, and I want to be the first to admit there's no one who can play acoustic guitar, flat picking guitar like Tony Rice does. And I myself am not trying to duplicate what he does, because I can't do it. And there's a lot of good musicians, a lot of good guitar players, especially on YouTube, that I watch, and very encouraging players. I know there's the guy, his name's Chris, I think, where it shows like Tony's hands, and he does like something dedicated to Tony. That he's a very good player among many, and I've always been shy. I've never talked in my videos. Been very shy about talking, probably because of my accent. I do have a country accent. I know a lot of you may not even understand what I'm saying, but I'll do the best I can to touch upon a few things. And that little rhythm intro there was a tune called Devlin, which is very close to my name. My name is Devlin, and that tune is Devlin. But I'll show you a little bit about, as close as I can. And again, I'm not trying to play like Tony, because I can't. But I'll go through the chords the best I know them. Maybe this will help someone. I'm not sure the names of the chords. Maybe like a major 7th, E, major 7th, to an A with a B in the bass. I don't really know the names of a lot of the chords. I'm not schooled in music. Everything I learned early on from a lot of Tony's CDs, and even before YouTube came out. I'm in no way a prodigy. I have to beat this stuff in my head. Something that would take some of you good guitar players out there maybe would learn in a couple hours. I'd have to work on it maybe 2 weeks. But I'll go over, I believe it's 6/8 timing on the tune Devlin. And there's the turnaround chord. And it goes back in. There was from E major 7th, I moved down to D major 7th. It's a form of D. I'm not sure exactly, like I say, the name of it. Some of you can correct me maybe in the comments below. There's D major 7th. Sure what it is, but you can see my fingers. Second finger on the 5th string on the 5th fret, first finger on the 4th string, on the 4th fret, and the little finger on the 3rd string on the 6th fret, and the ring finger is on the 2nd string, 5th fret. And you can also play the bottom string too. And that's a G with the A in the bass. To a B flat, to C, B flat. Then here you go with the F with a G in the bass, slide it up 2 frets, G with an A in the bass, and A with a B in the bass. And sometimes Tony may, which would really be well, the pinky's going to a D. Form of a B minor. Get back into the tunes. Flat. And that's one of the jazz, kind of like jazz tunes that Tony did. If I'm not mistaken, he wrote that tune called Devlin. And I always liked that tune because of the chord progressions and the melody too. After the intro of a turnaround chord, goes into the melody. But I hope I fumbled through this enough. Maybe you can pick some chords up on it if you're interested in the tune. A little bit different than the straight ahead bluegrass that I guess most bluegrass players are into playing straight ahead bluegrass tunes, and I was never one to play a note for note solo, or try to. I guess I'm not capable of learning a note for note solo. Like old fiddle tunes, I tend to play more fiddle tunes on the fly, I guess you'd call it. Like Salt Creek and Gold Rush and Red Haired Boy, and a lot of tunes that relate to Tony and his style. And this guitar I'm playing is a 2008. It is a D41. I have, well, as you can see, I have some others here, but I have guitars kind of all over the house. But the action is really low on this 41. I usually set all my guitars up myself. That's about the extent of what I do with guitar work, but I do set most of my guitars up myself, and some friends of mine, their guitars and things. I'm not a luthier by no means. I learned guitar setup from my dad. He spent most of his time working on guitars and setup intonation. He was real big on intonation. I always thought if he would have played as much as he did working on intonation and bridge saddles and things that way, he could have been a super guitar player, but that interested him more than anything. And most of you notice if you look at my right hand, I do tend to let my nails grow. And the reason is not for this style of playing. About 10 years ago, I first heard of a guy named Tommy Emmanuel. And he really inspired me to want to play with the thumb. And I've been trying to do that probably since maybe 2012, 13. And I don't have it. I can't get it the way I'd like to, but I'm working on it. But if there's any tunes that you want to request, maybe I could play, or maybe give you some insight on how I would play them. Message me and let me know what you'd like to see me work on, or things like that. Like I say, when I play Devlin, I don't play it by no means note for note the way Tony played it. I can't do that. And what people don't realize, a lot of people don't realize, is Tony played it that way one time in the studio. The way you hear it in the studio on the CD or vinyl or whatever you have, cassette, he played those notes that way only one time. If you would have heard him play it live maybe the next night, it would have been a totally different series of notes. So that's something you got to think about. It would actually a note for note solo. He didn't memorize it a certain way and play it the same way every time. And that goes with any music, with any instrument, country, bluegrass, rock, thumb style, any kind of music, or any song with any instrument. No two bands play the same way every night, and they don't want to. Who would want to? Who would want to be programmed to play the same thing the same way every time? I know I wouldn't. So what you need to do, if you're advanced in this, if you're real advanced, you need to just turn the video off, because I'm not at all advanced guitar player. But I have listened to Tony probably as much as anybody my age. Never been a bigger fan of Tony Rice than me. And I know a lot of you feel that way. And Tony, sad to see him not playing anymore. Great player. One of a kind. But I'll go over a couple more things. Maybe, I know I'm getting off track from Devlin, but I'll go over a couple more things. Tony's rhythm. He had a very unique approach to rhythm. Nobody else can play rhythm like Tony Rice. I know like people like Brian Sutton, and well, I could go on all night about different good bluegrass players and rhythm players, but nobody had a touch and a tone and timing like Tony Rice. I don't either. I can't really even touch on what he done, but I can show you a couple things what Tony did that you hear if you listen real close in about every song he does. And I'll get a little closer maybe that I can show you. But for instance, in the key of C, let's see, cross-picking rhythmic pattern. See if I can slow that down. He didn't keep it going, but you'd hear it. And he could do it in any key, even A. Done it in D, he would bring the thumb over the top. And even in G. L. That's one little thing he noticed for in his rhythm. Of course, all of his licks he had. Countless licks I've worked on through the years. Some I've been able to kindly do, and most of them not. most of the licks I can't reproduce, but there is one in particular that he did when he was in D, coming out of D back into G, or even staying in D. But there's a couple things there, and if, like I say, if there's any, I'm going to end the video now. I don't want to take up too much time, but if there's any comments or any licks or maybe songs or solos you'd like for me to try to piece together for you, I'll try every way I can. If you'll leave the comment below there. And I'm recording this from my iPhone. I'm not a very good speaker, and I'm trying to be a good guitar player. That's what this is all about, this video. Very hard for me to speak on camera. Yeah, I'm not used to that, but I'd love to hear from you, good or bad. Yeah, I'm alright with all of it. I don't think I've never ever left a bad comment on anyone's video. I just don't comment. But if you feel like commenting something negative, why, go right ahead. That won't hurt me a bit. I might learn something. But I haven't played a whole lot of bluegrass in the last, I'm going to say 2-3 years, I guess. Like I say, I got into that thumb style. You can see my thumb pick. Trying to learn different tunes and playing jazz. And I'll do one more quick. I know I'm just going back and forth, bouncing back and forth. I'm not organized at all in this video, but maybe you'll get a little something from it. Tony did, I think it was on the first instructional video that he did, an intimate lesson with Tony Rice, I believe his name of it. He done a tune called Georgia on My Mind. And I think the intro started something close. Something like that, best I can remember. Maybe on the next video I'll work on a Wayfaring Stranger. Let's see. I'll try to go through it a little bit, maybe in better detail than this video. This is kind of an introduction back into YouTube. I've not posted any videos in a while, and even took all my old ones off. I felt they was outdated and kind of backwards where I didn't talk, but hopefully some of this will help you, and leave a comment, like and subscribe. I don't have Facebook or any social media. YouTube is the only thing I've used to maybe get myself out there, but I'm not trying to be anybody or trying to make it in music. I've never been in a bluegrass band. I played a lot in church. I grew up playing in church music, and more of a country style. If this can help anybody, that's the goal. That's the intent. But till next time, thank you.